Hello guys, you are welcome back to my channel. This is AfroConnect24. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, depending on where you're watching from. If this is your first time of seeing my video, I beg you guys to like, share, and comment on this video. Facebook and YouTube can recommend this video to more people. Guys, I listened to this interview and I was thrilled when the presidential spokesperson of the Labour Party, Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo, put APC and PDP spokesperson on check. This guy was just too much. You know, there is one thing about Peter Obi, he always go for the best, and these people are always on check. Come on, man, this must watch. I want you guys to listen and watch this video carefully and drop your comment at the end of this video. Watch the full video below.
Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo to coming now. And one of the things that former President Obasanjo said, and this is making reference to Peter Obi, and let me allow our viewers to see this. He says, one other important point to make about Peter Obi is that he's a needle with thread attached to it from north and south, and he may not get lost. In other words, he has people who can pull his ears if and when necessary. He has a young and able running mate with a clean track record of achievement both in public and private life. That statement has now been criticized as such that Obasanjo is perhaps seeing Peter Obi as a puppet that he can play around with as soon as he gets into office.
Well, first and foremost, there is the saying that the greatest place in hell will be reserved for those who keep silent in times of moral crisis. Nigeria is going bad, not because of the violence of the bad people, but because of the silence of the good ones. Obasanjo has refused to keep silent in times of moral crisis. We are in a crisis in this country. Obasanjo wants to escape going to hell by being an accomplice to corrupt leaders, because any nation that votes corrupt politicians are no longer victims, but accomplices. Now, Obasanjo has never kept silent in times of moral crisis. He went to jail because of it, and he came out, became a president. Like you rightly pointed out, 11 years, this man governed Nigeria cumulatively as a military president and as a civilian president. No Nigerian has had that privilege. And fortunately for him, and unfortunately for them, though Nigeria may be privileged to have it again.
President Buhari, if he ends his term,
yes.
As soon as he ends his term, he'll be able to fall between the rank of the likes
9 years plus
of Olusegun Obasanjo.
No, 9 years plus. Cumulative.
But we're talking about those who have been head of state, military, and civilian.
Obasanjo has 11 years. Why I brought this issue is that Obasanjo knows everything that is required to sit on that seat. Let us come to his letter. In law, the reasons for a judgment is more important than the judgment itself. That's why when a court gives judgment, we the lawyers say, no, we want to hear their reasons. Let us hear the reasons Obasanjo enumerated in his letters. He said, whoever wants to be the president must meet up with 4 factors, which he summarized in the acronym TVCP. Track record of ability and performance. You must check the antecedents. You must check the past. Then he talked about vision that is authentic, honest, and realistic. You must check the future. Then you talked about character and attributes of a child of God and obedience to God. That's talking about integrity. Who are you when nobody is looking at you? Then he talked about physical and mental abilities with soundness of mind. I can't put it in a better form. He's talking about the qualities that we need in the next leader. When I heard these gentlemen talk, I was really asking myself, is Obasanjo in the ticket in 2023? Because they were just talking about Obasanjo this, Obasanjo that. And we are talking about recruiting the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will tell you what Obasanjo saw in P2B, and then you will do the matchmaking, and the Nigerians will do the judgment. Obasanjo saw in a man who has the capability to secure and unite this country. He did it in Anambra State. He secured Anambra State from being the worst secured state to the best by the confirmation of the IG of police then, Muhammad. He saw in P2B a man that will unite through not leaving anybody behind. No ethnic, no religious, no section will be left behind in P2B's judgment, in P2B's government. Obasanjo looked at P2B and saw a man that will shift emphasis from consumption to production through running a production-centered economy driven by agrarian revolution and export-oriented industrialization. Obasanjo saw in a man who will build world-class and expansive physical infrastructure, not through borrowing, but through integrated public-private partnership and entrepreneurial public sector governance. He saw in P2B a man who will leapfrog this country into the fourth industrial revolution through scientific and technological innovations to create digital economy. Obasanjo saw all these things and sat down and wrote a letter and said, if we want a Nigeria that should be redirected from poverty to prosperity, the only man that can do it is P2B. One of the reasons Obasanjo considered by endorsing P2B is because he knows that he is a man that will embark on effective legal and institutional reforms to aggressively fight corruption, entrench rule of law, reduce cost of governance, plug wastages, and ensure the establishment of honest and efficient civil service. Obasanjo knows that no man with such quality like this can be a puppet. Obasanjo does not even want a puppet to govern Nigeria.
But he has said it here.
Yes.
That meaning people who can pull his ears.
Exactly.
That is a needle with thread attached. So it means that there are people who can actually caution P2B.
No,
Do you want a president that someone from somewhere can control by pulling the thread on their needle, or someone that you can pull the ears of a president? Is that the CEO that you want to employ?
I was coming to that. Because what Obasanjo meant was simply that democracy is our lekon, then not a milokon. It's a collective thing. Obasanjo knows that no man can know it all. And all the people that claim that know it all have brought indescribable destruction to this country. You and I, you are aware of the milokons. When you talk about the Miloko, it's not an exclusive copyright of Tinubu. Atiku and Tinubu, they are their Milokos. Did you not hear that Northerners should vote only the North, not Yoruba, not Igbo candidate by Atiku? What is that? That's a Miloko. Have you not heard that I single-handedly made Buhari president? A man who boasted in Ogun, a Tinubu, that he can single-handedly make Buhari president, can no longer single-handedly make himself president. I don't know why he's campaigning. That is what Obasanjo is telling you, that P2B is not an Emilokon. P2B is an Awalekon, a man who is not going to act alone, who will listen. I am not going to follow a commander-in-chief that doesn't listen, because no man knows it all. If you're a medical doctor, you're not a lawyer. If you're a lawyer, you're not an engineer. P2B has said it clearly that the Nigerian people are going to be the president through him.
All right.
And that when he was in the labor retreat, he called the labor people. He said, bring your demands, write it down. We will sit together. We will look at it together. We will sign when we have agreed on what we will achieve. And don't leave after the election. Come and continue monitoring it. to see whether I am achieving it. That is what Obasanjo means. I'm not talking about... Let me just make one point more.
Okay.
P2B was a governor under APGA. APGA had only one state. No godfather up, no godfather down. Was he a puppet to anybody? And you're talking about when he is the president. No, he listens.
In all of this, your candidate has gotten a tick, an endorsement from President Obasanjo, but can that take him into the Aso Rock Villa in next year, after the next year's election? That's the big question.
Good. First of all, let me remind NI, because I said the failure of PDP and APC has made their spokespersons compulsive liars. And I'm talking statistics to be fact-checked. Dr. McCall, the Director General of the Poverty Alleviation Program under PDP, said Anambra State had the lowest poverty rate. We will be fact-checked for you to know. They don't have any other thing to offer. And when it came to the issue of endorsement, you saw his white lie. APC craved and nearly stole Obasanjo's endorsement. They went to him, and after talking with him secretly, they came out publicly to tell Nigerians that Obasanjo has endorsed them. He was there in the open. And Obasanjo had to retrieve his mandate. Because I've said it that everybody in APC is a thief, including animals. And even endorsement, they want to steal. And he's there saying that APC does not need Obasanjo's endorsement.
But Obasanjo endorsement make Peter Obi the president?
Obasanjo is one person. Obasanjo believes in our lekon. Obasanjo believes that the youths should rise up. The topic of his letter is an appeal to Nigerians, especially the youths. So Obasanjo is appealing to Nigerians that we should collectively rise up to this occasion and collectively vote for P2B. So Obasanjo never made any fuss about that he himself. Obasanjo is not an Imiloko.
we need to
wrap up. He did not single-handedly make himself president.
We're totally out of
what
time.
I'm saying is that 2023, it is not a tick from Obasanjo. Babachir Lawa was here, he ticked.
Adebanjo totally was here,
he ticked.
Thank you so much.
Nigerians are ticking.
Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo,